Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the North Arm Knives Skaha 2. As usual, we're going to analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But first of all, let's just do a quick size comparison. This is up against the Spyderco Native number 5. And this is up against another big boy. This is the Spyderco Shaman. And let's do also like a Sebenza 21. This is the large one. And what else? Let's do something a little bit smaller. That's Bag Knives Mini Glimpse. And yeah, of course, like let's do a PM3 from Spyderco. And lastly, let's just do this beautiful Lion Steel tie spine. So there you go. Let's check out some visual aspect of this guy, because this is an original design made out of in BC, Canada. Actually, these guys are from Burnaby, which is like 20 minutes drive from my place, which is a great thing. I love the Canadian makers, especially, you know, when they are producing something pretty good, like this guy over here. This is a father and son business. They run their shop, and yeah, it's, you know, the wait list for this guy, it's quite long because this knife it has become quite popular, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit to get one of these, but you can, you know, sign up for an order, and yeah, they're gonna fulfill it in, you know, with their time, of course. This is like North Arm Knives are also doing some pretty cool kitchen knives, so you can check their website out to see, you know, what's they're offering. This one is you know, the Skaha 2, so it's an evolution of the Skaha, and it improves the older model in, you know, under several aspects, I have to say. This is a G10 option. They also offer a little bit more expensive carbon fiber option. You can get some different colors for the G10, like blue, white, I think, green. And, you know, this is a liner lock. As you can see over here, you know, it has like one liner, which it's not really full. It's just getting up to here. And the presentation side is just G10. So, you know, this is, you know, the version 2. So it has some little tweaks, like for example, the flipper tab is fully chamfered. You know, these edges have been rounded off nicely. They redesigned the jimping over here to gain a little bit more traction, and as well, you know, the jimping on the blade is a little bit more sharp, which I prefer, honestly. Something I also like to check out is that, you know, the handles are pretty nicely rounded off, I have to say. There's just a little bit of inner chamfering going on over here, and you know, like this cutout for your thumb, it's pretty functional, and it's nice, and it's smooth, and you see, like it's pretty beautiful, because you're not gonna have any issues in just pushing the lock bar right there to close your blade. So nice. There's no lock face insert, because, you know, there's a steel liner over here, so there's no need for that. And, you know, naturally this scale over here will act as a lock bar stabilizer, because you're not going to be able to push this too much this way, so that's good. The screws are like a T10 for the pivot and for the clip screw, and a T8 for the handles, which is just held together with these couple standoffs over here. Also, something to notice is that the clip screw right over here just is, I don't know if you can see, right over there. It just goes through and screws in within the liner. So you need this screw in place for the knife to function properly. So that's interesting. The screws are also like flush, like recessed a little bit, not completely flush, but they're not sticking out, so they're nice. They're steel, and I mean, overall this knife has a pretty simple construction. You just unscrew these three and you're able to, you know, open it up and maintain it pretty easily, and it's gonna be a nice breeze to, you know, to clean this up. If you check, you know, blade centering, it's perfect on this one. There's no backspacer, of course, just a lanyard hole over here, like drilled through the G10 scales. If you check the blade, it's nice. I appreciate this one. It's like in Canadian style, I would say, because this reminds me like of a Greensmore Norseman, you know, like a CNC machined blade. You see like all these grooves, and you can actually feel them, so it's very nice. It has also a nice tactile feeling to it. They didn't cheap out with the steel. This is S35VN steel, which is pretty much up there and good to go. It's a very good steel indeed. This is a 3.3 inch blade, and so it's gonna be like perfect EDC-able size. Also, you know, the stock thickness is quite thin, so this is a pretty damn good slicer, guys. The tip is very fine, and overall the grind symmetry is spot on. I mean, the edge symmetry is right there. I don't see, maybe the tip, it's a little bit finer, but they did a good job over here. You have, you know, a nice jimping up there, and then this, you know, the spine is not like 100% crowned, but there's a little bit of chamfering going on over here, and it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna be sharp or anything. And then you have like a nice belly up to here, like I would say maybe like 30-40% of the cutting edge, and then just full flat up to the sharpening joint, which is bigger than version 1, so they improved this a little bit. And you see, like, this is the plunge grind, which is nice. You know, it's nicely done and reveals, look at this, how thin behind the edge this blade is, which is beautiful. It's very slicey. There's not really like a thumb ramp, you just have the jimping going on, and you know, there's this billboarding going on the blade. Clearly it's subtle. I mean, it's not that thick, but it's big. You know, this is like 20% of the length of the blade. They also mark like the steel in the ricasso over here, which has a little bit of polish to it. It's not like mirror polished, but it's nicely done. On the other side, of course, you see proudly made in BC right over there, which is something that I truly appreciate because I'm from BC. So very nice, even if I'm not a fan of billboarding. There's no skeletonizing going on here because G10 is already relatively light. And the detent ball, if you disassemble the knife, you're gonna notice that it's not, even if you check right over here, you see that it's not like a spheric ball. I mean, it's just like a domed kind of thing. It's not like completely spherical. So that's a nice addition and a nice feature, which is going to contribute to the amazing action that this guy has. And we're going to see just in a bit. If we check the sound this guy makes, it's this one, guys. This is a pretty rich sound, and it's kind of piercing. It's a nice cluck, and it's almost like in two, you can hear distinctively the two steps, like, you know, when you break the detent, which by the way is dialed in like perfectly. You can hear, for example, like this sound. All right, the first one of the detent breaking, tick, and then, you know, the blade just hitting the stop pin right up here. So it's nice. That's the second one. It's very good. It's very pleasant. As well as the sound that this guy makes when you close the blade. It's a mellow click. It's dampened, and it's pleasant. So it doesn't resound, and just it's like tick, so it stops right there. You know, it's pretty nice. I like this one. The weight on this guy is also like pretty contained. This weighs in at 3 ounces or 85 grams. If you pick up the carbon fiber version, it's going to be a little bit lighter, like 2.7 ounces or 77 grams. When you hold the knife, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised, because you know it is light but feels solid in the hand. And you know, the wire clip, which you know, by the way, it's like a deep carry, and it's an improvement, a big improve, probably the biggest improvement over the version 1, which was just a flat, boring you know, piece of metal. This is it's better, it's improved, it's deep carried, and you know, your pocket is gonna get up to here, even if it's, you know, not reversible and not ambidextrous, because of course it's bolted into the partial liner. It's gonna be nice because it has a nice springy action, and yeah, it's tip up carry. But you know, having like this clip ramp over here, you might be inclined to think that it's gonna be a hotspot, but actually for my hand, no, it's not. You see, it's like this goes like here in this kind of grip. It just sits here, so I can feel it, but I mean, it's not hurting or like digging too much in my hand, the palm of my hand, because it's rounded off and it's not like that high. And I don't know, I was thinking, yeah, this is gonna dig in my hand, but actually no. So it has a pretty good design. There are no sharp edges going on. This is actually rounded off. I like this, especially the heel of the handle like this, because this is the side you're gonna have like in the palm of your hand like this in order to deploy the blade. So naturally you're gonna be pushing this side down, and being rounded off this way, yeah, it's gonna give you a pretty nice and soft feel to your hand, because it's so well rounded off, you know, on this side. So very, very nice. The jimping is just like up here, no jimping going on in other side, and it's not too sharp. I actually like this one. The reverse grip is gonna be you know, a little bit on the short side if you have like bigger hands, because the handle is not that big, but still it's gonna be quite useful. You cannot really choke up over here. This is not a finger choil, just a sharpening choil. But yeah, overall the feeling of the grip, it's of a solid one. Texture, of course, is smooth. You know, the G10 is pretty smooth and slick, and the fit and finish are spot on, guys. Like, I had nothing to say about this one. You know, no blade play, up and down, vertical. There's no lock crock, no lock stick. It's well put together for the price. I think this is around 270 Canadian, 250. So like I would say 200 US. So it's a very reasonable price for what they managed to put into this one. You see, like, you know, the deployment speed of this knife is insane. Like, the detent is so well dialed in that you really, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You don't need too much strength here. You know, you can do a light switch like this, or a push button like that, both, or you can even like try to, you know, to open like with two hands, but nah, it's not gonna happen. So both of these options are gonna be firing the blade like crazy. I don't know what wizardry it's going on here, but I'm telling you, you don't need to press too hard on the flipper tab in order to deploy the blade, and it's gonna fly open, guys. It's very nice and smooth. I mean, this is running, of course, on bearings. They're caged, and the detent is dialed in. Also, it's an improvement over the version 1, which had a little bit of play, but in this case, man, they did I think they did a perfect job. You know, tip also is safely recessed on the inside, so no way, you know, no risk to touching that. Also on the back, you're good to go. And if you shake the knife, there's no rattling, so everything is well kept in place. And I mean, the action is the highlight of this one. It's smooth, it's fast, and you know, also like the lock release is gonna give you a nice feeling because it's very simple to unlock, and there's no lock stick whatsoever. It's like it's not even touching, but there's no play. So it's very, very nicely designed. The geometry is spot on this one, guys. You don't have a detent ball ramp. In fact, you can hear, you know, this hard step over here. But you see that as soon as you unlock the blade, you know, you have like the blade just free falling. And the moment you rotate the handle, look at this. This is buttery smooth, guys. The handle is just has the guillotine effect. Sometimes you need just a light wiggle like this to have the blade just glide down into the closed position. You don't really have like too much detent suction. You have to just go like, you see, almost all the way down to have the blade just to be sucked in. But that's not an issue whatsoever because, guys, you're gonna be like super happy with the action of this guy. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned.